Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome to another stream. This is going to be the fifth and the last anniversary event for the legendary game. Excuse me. And with it, we have a Light Slayer deck that does have some new mechanics. They're calling this the On Heal deck. And so, what I want to do today, as we normally do on Tuesdays, is we're going to take a look at these cards. And if I can get the team too, then I'd like to try and put in, in a test against maybe the golden trial boss, because this is going to be good against entropy, as this is also a beast killer deck. And so welcome to the stream, everybody. Just wanted to say hi to everyone. And we're gonna jump right into. We're gonna take a look at the cards, and I don't think it's gonna be too bad of a deck to go through. It's not quite as confusing as some of the others that we've seen in the past, but we'll go through it nonetheless. And just seeing some people in the chat here, we got Catherine and Carius, as well as Nickerson, David, Kenny Spin, Vishal, Doug, and Noelia. Welcome to the stream. And Chimengong, thanks for joining us. All right, so let's take a look here. And before we start, I just want to say I love the theme here. So I really love, I personally really enjoy watching anime, and I read a lot of manga as well. And so the whole yokai theme is something that I am very familiar with, and I really, really enjoy. And so when I heard that this was going to be a yokai theme, I thought this was really cool. So I really dig it, personally. All right, so let's take a look at the cards here, and these are going to be creature cards, and they also have the beast killer bonus. So this is going to be really good for for entropy, as I mentioned. And yeah, so I am sounding a little better. I still got that lingering cough here, so I got my tea right here ready to go, and I am I'm hoping that can last through the stream without losing too much of my voice here. Yeah, so Tame Beast here, thank you so much for joining here and for your feedback there. And yeah, so let's take a look at the cards here. We're gonna start with a Master Collection card. Now this is Turia, Illustrious Kirin. Now Kirin is actually I don't really see him as a yokai. He's more he's in other mythology as well, but it's a creature that I've always really I've really admired and really enjoyed. So it's nice to see their sort of interpretation of what this looks like. But anyways, let's take a look at the cards here. So the battle skill here, Razor Antlers. This card will create 3 Power Gem 4s. Now, at the first glance, this is very similar to a lot of the Master Collection cards that we've seen, but it also has a couple of other there's other factors for this card that you have to think about. So this one will also heal. So this is going to heal for 1500% of the hero recovery. It's an attacker type. So at level 1, this card actually heals for close to 1,000. So that's not a bad amount. And so it can actually have pretty good heal at this level. Not as good as some of the others we've seen that heals for 5,000%, for example. But I think that it does what it needs to, I think. Now, I haven't played with it yet, so I can't really say it, but just looking at the numbers, it's not going to be as strong as some of the other ones, but there are other things that makes up for it. And that is, if you have over 50% health, you're going to get double the number of Power Gems. So that means if you have over 50% health, you're going to get 6 Power Gem 4s right off the bat, no other requirements. But if you're below, then you're only going to get 3 Power Gem 4s. However, you will heal for double the amount. So you're going to heal for 3,000 hero recovery. So it kind of makes sense in that if you're below a certain health threshold, then you actually want more heals so that you can bring yourself back up so that you can actually attack more. And I think with this entire deck, what we're going to see is if you have the deck, you're going to be able to heal pretty consistently, and so you shouldn't have any problems dealing with ultimate bosses, and that's going to be where the heal is going to come in. And so the passive here is that it's also going to decrease your damage that you take by up to 10%. So 10% reduction in damage isn't that big a deal, I don't think, but this is for, per card. And so if you have multiple copies of this, then you're going to be able to benefit from this a little bit more. Now, what's interesting is generally a damage reduction mechanic is typically more applicable to like a commander event, where you're trying to use one key to actually take down the bosses. And so this is kind of interesting because in Slayers you're not typically going to be going with that many rounds. And again, once you get into higher level bosses, like higher prestige, and if you're going with ultimate bosses, then this is where the damage reduction is probably going to come in handy, especially as your health goes up. And also the damage that the bosses deal goes higher. This is going to be observed, I think, more as well. So that's the Master Collection card there. And we're going to take a look at the Ultra Rare. Transcendental Devrim. Okay, and we'll take a look at the cards here. So this is a two-headed, what looks like a phoenix almost. And I'm not familiar with this one though. So anyways, the battle skill here, Full Fury. It will generate 2 light gems, create 2 light gems and 2 light power gem 2s. So it's going to create these 2. And then it applies Transcendental Song to up to 4 heroes for basically for 2 turns. But you need to build up your Slayer skills in order to get up to the full 4. Basically, if you're below 100 skill points, you're going to be able to apply this skill to 1 other hero. And so 2 of the cards will be able to basically increase the self-attack by 25%. And then it'll also create 2 light power gem 3s. So basically, if you think about it, you're going to create 2 gems, 2 light power gem 2s. And then if you activate a healing skill, then it's going to create 2 more power gems per hero that it's applied to. The only thing that you have to think about here that you have to recognize is when you see a battle skill that creates a power gem and regular gems, then depending on the sequence on when it happens, the unfortunate thing is those light gems that you've created is going to be consumed by the power gem creation. So the overall number of gems that you're going to create isn't going to be 2 plus 2 for the gem and power gems and multiplied by a number of heroes that have this. You're actually going to get less of them because all of your light gems that's created by these cards are going to be taken up by the power gem instead. So Nickerson, is the ultra rare card worth putting in the deck? Yes. If nothing else, for the attack bonus and also just additional power gems. But if you have the ultimate form and 4 master collections, then I would say you probably have enough. I think you have enough damage reduction and also power gem 4s to not worry about it. You can always play around. I think that's the beauty of this with that setup there. I think that you probably, I would say, it's interesting because with the ultra rare card in there, you can get a slight increase in your attack damage if you're looking for that boost. But I think that at this level, it's probably better to just keep the Master Collection card. And so that's the ultra rare card here. Now we can take a look at the support card, and then we'll look at the event card, and then we're going to try and open up a couple packs as well. So the regular Devrim, the support card here, is, in my opinion, not the greatest support card, actually. So what I like about this whole deck is that the whole deck kind of works well in that it does, there's a lot of healing. You're going to see later there's the Master Collection card that heals, and also the event card is going to heal, and then there's also cards that benefit from the heal, such as this one here, where it will create 2 light gems and 1 power gem 1. And then it'll apply Light Song to 1 Light Slayer hero, and the Light Song passive basically creates 1 light power gem 1 whenever a healing skill is used. Now, the thing is, like I said, you're going to end up eating up the regular gems with the power gem anyway, and so the total number of gems that you're going to get is actually kind of low with the support card. And if you kind of take this card out of the whole deck, it doesn't really stand up on its own. So that's the only that's one of the criticisms I have of this deck, and really sort of in the past few decks now, the support cards just isn't great. And so if you only have the support card, unfortunately, it's not going to really be a great card unless you have something else that you can pair with it so you can take advantage of the 10 times bonus. And hey, what's up? Be Like Billy and Arcadian, as well as let's see, Rebecca Johnson. So Johansson. So welcome to the stream here. You would like a Naruto deck? Yeah, I think that'll be really cool as well. So let's take a look at the event card here. Basically, I think that the support card here, it kind of feels a little out of place, to be honest with you, because it doesn't really quite create a good number of gems, and and with just a single power gem 1 that it can create, it it just doesn't feel like it's very supportive of the whole deck, if you know what I mean. And so this is the one card that I feel that needs a little rework. I personally think that it deserves a little bit more, but you know, the rest of the cards though I think are pretty good. So let's take a look at the event card now, and that is probably going to be one of my favorite art in this entire deck. So don't I can't tell if this is so it's kitsune, so it's going to be a fox, right? And I can't tell if this is supposed to be the nine-tailed fox, but didn't count it. But 1, 2, 3, 4, there's enough tails in there. But I really enjoy this art here. So anyway, so this is the event card here. And did I get this the 5-star version? I want to see the 6-star version. There you go. So the 6-star version here, it will create 3 light power gem once. So again, at a first glance, it's going to be the same as your regular, regular event card, but it also gets double. So it does create 6 power gems on turn 2, and it will heal for 1000% heal recovery, and then doubles when there is less than 50% health. So this card will actually help you with your heal if you have this in your deck here. So it's actually not a bad card, especially if you don't have multiple copies of the Master Collection cards like we see some people go with. This card isn't a bad option. At least better than a lot of the other event cards I've seen. And also this card will stand on its own. Like this card, you can put in any other Light Slayer deck and it's going to create 6 power gems as long as you can keep up, above 50% health. And so I think it's actually not that bad. It doesn't have any other, passive or anything like that. It's just a very simple, plain card that can give you double the amount of either gems or health. So it's a slightly better version of the event cards I've seen. So would I recommend the deck? So it's always a hard question to answer. Depends on what you're looking for. And so personally, I think that if you look at sort of the power curve of the previous cards that we've seen, if you look at the previous deck that we've seen, there are a couple of that are extremely powerful, like the latest light the Water Slayer deck that we saw. I mean, like the ultra rare card is just absolutely amazing, and it's an insanely powerful deck. And also the previous Earth Commander deck with the Ultimate Form, everything is really good. What I've seen so far with this deck is if you have the full deck, is a very quick turn 2 deck that can fill up the board with power gems. So you can get basically a full board of power gem 3s, power gem 4s, whatnot. And it's going to be really quick. Beyond that, it's going to be a 4-turn card, 4-turn deck. So every card has a 4-turn cooldown, so it's going to feel a little slow after turn 2. So it's not going to be quite as quick, where every couple turns you'll be able to activate the battle skill. So there's pros and cons here, but if you like it to be a quick, fast, early sort of deck that has the right killer skill, beast killer skill, for example, then I think that this deck would be something that you might enjoy. So what I've seen so far, people who have gotten the deck so far have not really been too disappointed with it. So I think it's up to you. A deck with Naruto, Sasuke, Minato, and Madara will be... I think it's going to sell. To be honest with you, I think it's going to sell really well if they have that kind of a... if they have those cards making a cameo in this game. I would probably go for it. And for sure, it's going to have to be a fire deck. Like, there's no way around that, right? So am I struggling Gold Trial Pulse event? Not, absolutely not. So this is a beast killer. So remember that Entropy is a creature card. So this deck is going to absolutely crush the Gold Trial. And most of the other cards are they're creatures too. So 4 of the 5 are creatures, and so I think that it's going to do just fine, and it's absolutely going to crush Entropy in the Gold Trial. So that's my take on it. I haven't tried it, but if I get the deck, I will definitely do that. So let's go ahead and see. I could go up to tier 3, I think, and I'm gonna save up for tier 5. I actually tried really hard last event to try and get the ultimate ultra rare card. Unfortunately, I didn't, and so my budget will not allow me to go too far this time. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for some good pulls. So let's go ahead and try three tiers right now. You spent your whole paycheck on it if you had, yeah. All right, so let's see what we get here. So we got a Adoring Angel, and that is what did I get? A key? So I got a Adoring Angel, and I got one ultimate hero, ultimate boss token. All right, let's go tier 2 and see what we get here. I'm hoping I can. Yeah, I won't have enough for tier 4, unfortunately. So I'm hoping I can get at least, some cards here. So that's the support card, Devram. Like I said, I don't think it's a great card here. And so nothing in tier 2 either so far, just the guarantee support card and the potions there. Let's see how much dust we got. So we got 1,000 dust there. We do have some Dragoon gifts though. So every tier you do get Dragoon gifts there. So that's going to, I'm not sure what the gifts actually contain, but it should help you at least leveling your Dragoons there. All right, so far we got one out of the possible 55 cards that we could get from the silver and gold. Yeah, so I'm going to be able to get one here. This is the last pull, last tier. So hoping for some gold reward there. I'm going to get one that's going to be at least the relic there. So that's going to be the relic. Ceramic Blossom. And I got Reiki, so that's good. And it looks like that's gonna be it. Okay. So no ultra rare card and no master collection card, but at least I got one event card there. So that is at least not a total loss. So got one relic and one card. And how close am I to crafting? So I think that let's go ahead and collect these cards, and we can talk about the collection cards as well. So this is going to be Cleric Garen. It's a very old card. It's a highborn card, and what it does is basically creates a Power Gem 3 at 6 stars. It's basically it's a Generation 2 card as well, so not really worth it. You're not really going to be able to use it. And then we've got Daniil. So Daniil, is from that Rainbow deck. So if you've got Amy and stuff, this card could work, but generally I don't see him useful outside of its own event there. So not something that I think would be good. Golden Guardian is available in the Dust shop. So if you're looking for this card, it is available for the 20 Dust. So you can get it in the 20 Dust shop because it is an ultra rare card. And it is available. I've pulled quite a few of those cards. So if you're looking for it, that's where you would get it. All right, so let's see. We are going to be pretty far from being able to craft it as well. So I think I'm going to have to try and save up and try my luck in the, hopefully, tier 4. I might be able to save up just enough for tier 4, or I might go for the, basically the 1,000 gem pull. So yeah, feels bad. Really bad pulls there. At least I get a silver reward that's not guaranteed. But yeah, so far that just wasn't the greatest. I haven't had really great pulls last few events now. So unfortunately, won't be able to show how how you would really use the deck. But what I can tell you is the activation order is going to be the following. If you have the ultra rare and you have it in your deck, that would be the one that you activate first, because this is the card that actually applies, its battle skill to other cards. And so what you want to do is you want to activate that first before you activate anything else. And what's nice too is if you build your Slayer skill up to 300, activating this first at least doesn't at least this way you don't lose it because of the ultimate gem creation from your ultimate form. And so basically just activate the ultra rare first, and then all the other cards, and you'll be good to go. You're gonna get more power gems this way and more damage. So Loki, my pull look like yours? Yeah, I'm sure. There's a lot of people that I saw that just didn't get good pulls, and then there's a lot of people that were just getting really really good pulls. I saw people basically getting the full team by tier 3, and so I don't have that luck, unfortunately. So I was kind of hoping that I could get at least this card so that I could pair him with my Scholars. So I do have the Relentless Scholars deck that is going to be useful this deck. This deck is going to be useful this event. And so I was kind of hoping that I could actually, put something else in there that could help me with the heal. So that is going to be so Kirei is going to be the card I'm going to use for the heal. And now with my collection, that's the potential for another card in here that I could potentially get another Kirei. So then I could potentially put two of those cards in there for the heal factor. That is going to make a pretty big difference for me for the ultimate form, sort of the ultimate bosses there. And so Reiki, not Kira, Reiki. So I think that's going to be my hope. And so let's see what's going on there. So curious, I'm going to make something awesome. I hope I can come up with some other ideas for people. But like I said, the support cards to me a little lackluster. And what we can do is I can take a look at the cards I've had so far, and I'm going to clean them up a little bit, and then we can go ahead and try them out if possible. So we've got basically. So I got two ultra rares from Gen 2, and then I got an event card. So these are actually not bad pulls, to be honest with you. But now I got two cards I need to get rid of. So give me 1 second while I think about what to do here. So I'm gonna go and get rid of this. So I actually do this a lot. I would go back and I would craft a lot of the old cards, and then I would use them for my like Guild versus Skill deck, for example. So like this card is something that I always use, but I can go ahead and unequip it, and I can just go ahead and sell that. So at least that frees up one slot. And do I have any other cards that I can just get rid of that's equipped my team so far currently? And one of the things that we can do actually, maybe in the next episode, I want to try and take on a couple of defenders. So like if you have a defender you wanted me to check out for Guild versus Guild, go ahead and let me know. I'm actually gonna try and probably do it in the next stream, where we're gonna just go ahead and look at some defenders, and we will try taking a couple of them out and see how that goes. I think that might be fun. Yeah. So let's see, what can I get rid of realistically? I have a lot of cards, and I don't want to pay for the spots. And I think I know. I just kind of wanted to level them up first. I wanted to get rid of some of these Scorched Horsemen just because I don't have space for them anymore. And I actually started getting rid of my Dragoons as well. Can you believe it? Just because I just don't have space for them. And I'm keeping the digital Veilfar because they can actually specialize into Voltrion, which is going to be really, really important. You know what? I'm going to say goodbye to you. So Eternal Blade, also available in the Death Shop. Not a card that I'm going to be sweating over. So let's go ahead and build this deck here. We can kind of play around with it a little bit. And is the Hellboy deck Ultimate Form worth crafting? Not really. I don't really like the Hellboy Ultimate Form, to be honest with you. And I'll tell you why. So the card at most creates 3 Power Gen Force for you, but in order to do that, you need to actually activate, and then you match gems, attack, and then it'll create 3 Power Gen Force. It's just not a great card unless you're looking for the killer skill. That's really all you're looking for. And to me, I feel like there are a lot of other better cards out there. So if you are going to be using Dust, I don't think you can use Dust anymore anyway at this point. So you are going to lose. I can't remember if the Hellboy deck you get to keep your. I think you get to keep your. I think you get to keep your cards, right? Your Master Collection card and your Ultimate Form. If you have the souls, then go ahead and get it. But if you have to sacrifice something for it, then I would say probably not. All right, let's go ahead and level this up, and then let's take a look at how this deck would work. So got a single. I didn't even get multiple copies of support card that I'm used to getting from pulling the vault. This has been a pretty sad 3 tiers. Chromasux, welcome. Doing okay. You just missed out on a pretty subpar pull, I would say. Beast Soul. So I'm not gonna use my dungeon coins. So one of the things I do as well when I'm leveling, obviously I'm going to be getting the catalyst, but one of the things I also do because I have the dust for it is I also go to the dust shop. So you can actually go to the dust shop if you didn't know, to actually get these catalysts, and you go to the shards in here, and what I needed was the beast soul, and I just needed 4 of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up 4 of those for 200 dust, which is a lot better than spending 50 dungeon coins. So in terms of balancing what you should spend, you should always save your dungeon coins if possible and use a little bit of dust, assuming that you are keeping average like 10,000 dust or so. If you have that amount, even a few thousand, even if it's 6 or 7 thousand, I would encourage using that over spending the dungeon coins for because it's just so hard to accumulate. And so that would be the recommendation I have here. And so let's go ahead and evolve. So we have Longanite, and we've got Beast Soul, and I actually did the silver trials against the light boss. I think Alien Angel, just so I can get a few of the essences. All right, so Reiki 5-star, and I need you at 6-star. I'm gonna make him 6-star afterwards because I know I'm gonna get the catalyst for it. So for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and put you in here. And let's go ahead and change the cards as well. I just wanted to kind of see how well it works in terms of the heal and everything. And since you asked, right? So I'll put in Hellboy as well. I'll put in Hellboy just so you can sort of see how that works. Or Apocalypse Hellboy, and then I would put this card in there for sure. And then for the other Slayer, so like basically that's all I have for Generation 3 Slayers. Beyond that, I think what would have been really good, I think what would I have done? What would I use? So there's Golden Guardian. We can also put that in there for a couple of Power Gen 4s. But I think maybe I'll go ahead and put in Owen and Drago. And then let's go ahead and put in some relics. So we'll put in Light Slayer relics here. And this is also a creature card, so you can also put in creature in there if you had that the auto turret. So this is just going to rename it a little bit, and then we are going to play around a little bit. And I do need to go up against a boss, trial boss anyway. So let's just kind of see, right? So is there a gold version of Reaper where you create so light and water are the 2 affinities that don't have that. And so Nickerson, I'm not actually at max. I don't actually get I'm at 375, I think. 375 cards. 800 is the max, but I just refuse to spend the gems to go up that high. I'd rather just get rid of the cards I don't really need because I have a lot of cards I don't really need to use. And so you can see, right? So Entropy is a creature card. Now, if I had even just a Master Collection card, that would have really made a difference there. But just want to kind of at least play around a little bit. We can talk about the card and we can kind of see how this would work here. And so I kind of wish that I had 2 support cards, to be honest with you, because I wanted to sort of show how the support cards would work when you have multiples of them. Usually one of the things I always recommend is, hey, if you have more than one support card, you can really use that to to sort of fill up the board. You can fill up the team with it. But I just kind of felt like in this particular case, there's just not enough gem creation to really help that. So I wanted to get a couple of cards to kind of show that. But let's see. So let's go ahead and power up. I think I need to clear up. I'll clear up 6 anyways. All right. Now let's go ahead and try this. Seraph. Seraph is indeed a really good choice. So we can actually do that afterwards. So let's go ahead and try this. We're going to we're not gonna defeat it. Like there's no way, right? I'm just playing around a little bit, just kind of seeing the combination here, since people are kind of asking a little bit. So let's see, you got your 3K short for both MC and UR. So I think if it's just 3,000 short, you might be able to get it if you play through the event. And so let's see. People. So Katana, thanks for joining. All right, so here we have, if you wanted to use these two cards, you actually want to use the support card first, because what it will do is it will then create power gems when this heal actually gets applied. And now all of the other cards have been, so now you can see Hellboy doesn't do anything. It'll actually create gems afterwards, right? So let's go ahead and do this. So this, you can sort of see the timing. So the timing is a little bit different. And both the support card and the event card here have a 4-turn cooldown. So if you're using the Scholar's deck, that means for every 2 turns, you'll be able to use the Scholar deck. And so you'll be able to use it twice before you can actually use, you can see here, I can actually use this twice before I can use the support card and the event card again. So in this situation, you always want to use your support card first, because the event card is the one that provides you with the heal. Okay, and so let's go ahead and do this, and let's see how much we actually heal. Now that we're getting hit a couple times, I want to see how much we can actually heal here. So we're gonna go ahead and build this again. And so the 6 power gem ones is actually really nice. I actually really like. I actually kind of really like how much it's healing, given that it's just the event card here, and it'll double the heal when you're below 50% health. And so right now it doesn't look like a whole lot, but it actually isn't too bad. And so the way that you want to play if you're using the Hellboy deck then is you have to sort of time it correctly so that the turn before you use it, and I think it's going to be this turn, so 1 turn before everything goes live is when you want to use this. So we're going to go ahead and use Hellboy now, and I think I have to do a match. Then everything's going to go live, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the support card, event card, then everything else. All right, so there's the three power gem 4s, and then we're going to go ahead and do... So now I'm below 50%, and then my heal brings me up a little bit. So I only created 3 power gems there when I was kind of hoping for 6. So you have to sort of keep track of your health as well. And so wouldn't Aileen be a better leader if you don't have ultimate? Yeah, Aileen's definitely going to be a good option as well. So there are definitely a lot of different options there, right? So Aileen is good if you have her ascended. If you have her ascended, then that means you could actually get 4 power gem once every 4 turns as well. So it'll work nicely in terms of timing with with this deck as well. So every 4 turns, you're going to get basically additional gems there as well. So definitely is something that you can do. All right, so let's go ahead and try this now. So we're gonna get the maximum number of. I needed to actually match with Hellboy, so that's the thing I didn't do. So that is basically 3 power gem 4s that I missed out on. I mean, it's still not like a huge deal, but it would have helped a little bit in this case. So basically that's sort of like how you'd be able to play this sort of combination here. I'm not really doing this to take the boss out, but in a full deck here, I think with 2 trillion health, I think it will be okay. I think it should be able to take out Entropy relatively easily without any issues there. And I'm gonna go ahead and take out the boss with a different deck. So let's see. I'm gonna take a look at the chat here while I think about the team. I'm gonna bring on my team to actually just get rid of the boss here, so I can actually claim the reward first. Yeah. So Aileen is also a really good leader for commander events. So yes, if you don't have like the ultimate form, if you don't have any other good cards, then Aileen is a good option as well. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get scholars, and we're gonna put in this Maya, and we're gonna put in Maya, and I'm not gonna care about you, but I can get some heal, although in the spirit of at least keeping the event relevant, I'm gonna probably keep him around just to see. I think if I had 2 copies, that would be okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. So let's go ahead and give this a try again. I'm gonna play seriously. Let's see if I can do this. I haven't actually gone up against Entropy in a while, so let's see how this deck works. You were saying I didn't get the ultimate form for the golden. Yeah, so this is a, it's a fun deck. I like this mechanic a lot. So I think a lot of people were expecting this for the water deck as well. So that's gonna be the mechanic that we all hope for. But as we're sort of seeing right now, what's going on here is that we're starting to see people see the team kind of experimenting a little bit with the decks, so that they're starting to think about different mechanics as well. And so what I'm going to be using the event card for is I'm going to be using it for heal. So after this attack, I'm going to go ahead and do a heal, so I can sort of keep my I can keep my health in check at least, and also just kind of creating my power gems a little bit, so I can actually make sure I do a match. And so if you're having a hard time with the heal, you can also put in a light scepter so that you can heal more. So I want to see how. Yeah, I need to make sure that I actually do heart gem matches as well. So like this deck, the Scholar's deck doesn't have very good heal, so that's the only thing, and it is going to be a problem. And I'm hoping that when I dip below 50%, that it's actually going to be okay in terms of the heal. We'll have to see. Because to fit basically double the heal amount, I kind of see it, and I didn't really level it up, level my card up too much, and so that's also the reason why my heal isn't as good. All right, and so we're at. Catherine McIntyre, Seraph. So basically, Seraph is a card that can create Power Gem 2s depending on the number of gems on the board. So for every 5 gems that's on the board, you basically will create, for every 5 Power Gems on the board, you create 1 Power Gem 2. And so it's a really nice way to add some damage to your team, to basically get that additional power boost. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so, not sure if I'm going to be able to take entropy out, to be honest with you, with this deck like this, if it's only dealing 15.3. And with the nuke there, I mean, this is probably going to require a couple of attacks there. I actually haven't really tried this, if you believe it or not, because I've been focused on using other decks for other gold legend bosses. So we can sort of use this sort of, you can sort of see that if you don't have killer bonus, it really makes it a little bit tougher. And so let's see, just try to deck against dark, very powerful deck. Yeah, so with the killer bonus as well, you're definitely going to have have an easy time with the boss here. Unlike me right now, I think okay, I'm gonna wait one more turn so that I can get the passive ability of my cards here. So there you go. So let's go ahead and generate all the power gems. And relics is really the one thing that makes a huge difference as well. So I have the fire version of this deck, but I basically got the full relics, and it actually really makes a difference as well. So with this one, I think oh, you know what? I might have. Yeah, my problem is my relic's not correct. So I didn't put in the right relic. And so that is one thing that does have a little bit of an impact. And so let's see, forget about leveling cards, have punches of potions. The thing with this sort of generation 3 as well is that I don't think that leveling non-ultimate forms is as important anymore. Like I honestly, like the last few events, I literally have basically just left it at level 1. If you look at all my Master Collection cards, they're basically all at level 1, just because it's not quite as important to level them up. I mean, you do get definitely the damage boost, but I feel like with these cards, they're so powerful from the get-go that it's actually okay. All right, so let's go ahead and wait one more turn, and then we're gonna be able to deal. We were supposed to be able to deal some good damage, but then everything got clear, so that was that was sad. But we did get some heal there, not as much as I would have liked. So this is definitely something that I'm sort of paying attention to as well here. So healing wise, so if you just have the event card, it's not going to be quite strong enough to go up against the ultimate for sure. You probably wouldn't be able to anyway if you didn't have the ultimate form. All right, so you can sort of see like there's a reason why I'm waiting additional turn when I've missed the activation for my cards. It's because I'm waiting for my passive to actually kick in, so I can get a little bit more. Power gems there. So let's see. So we're about 24 seconds in, and dealt about half of the damage so far. So I guess it's okay. And I've missed a lot of turns, but my health is getting pretty low right now. So let's see. I was kind of hoping that I could actually get a heart match over there, but we can do it this turn, so that's okay. Sandy, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me here. We're just gonna. I'm actually just trying to take out the entropy. Basically the boss with this team right here. So, it's taking a little bit longer, but I think I might be able to do it. At least I can come close to it. So this is gonna be at least a two. If I can't do it in one attack, it's gonna be a 2 attack team. At least. So it kind of adds up. It's just a matter of what I wanted to test out was really sort of the heal factor of a single event card. So keep in mind that this card heals for 1,000%, and the Master Collection card will heal for 1,500%. And so it is going to be a little bit. You're going to get a little bit better heal from the card. And if you have multiple copies of those, then I think you shouldn't have too much issues with the higher level ultimate bosses, especially if you sort of stagger the heal, right? If you stagger the activation of your cards, then you should be able to heal just fine. One of the problems with ultimate bosses is always the health. Health is always going to be the problem, and a lot of times, like, we would bring in cards like Aladdin or something like that into the mix, but in exchange of that, you're losing it on some health. All right, so there's no heart. No heart matches there, so I can at least survive this one round. And then let's see, double here, how much we get. So we have 16,000 right now, and that's going to heal us up to 72. So that basically will get us basically one more turn, 2 more turns basically, before we'll be in danger of losing our health. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Yeah, oh, we're really, really close there. So let's see. Oh, that's too bad. My heart gems got matched. It was a decision I had to make whether I go ahead and do that or not. So it's gonna be a 2 attack. Basically, it's gonna require me to do 2 attacks here. I'm not gonna be able to survive this hit. So came close. The heal is just a little bit not good enough with this card. But it's, there's a lot of other options. So like some of the things that we're going to think about in the next event, not the next event, in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about other options as well. I'm going to think about sort of the off between streams. What are the other options that are going to be good? So Aladdin is going to be a really good card, and also Solus will be useful as well. If you have the Master Collection card but you don't have the Ultimate Form, Solus is also a good option to sort of bring in. Like there are a lot of other light cards that do heal. So keep in mind that you only get the benefit if you use cards that heal for a battle skill. So your ultra rare, for example, its passive skill gets activated by cards that use the battle skill to heal. I'm not sure if passive heal is going to help it, but we'll have to see. So that's my personal feeling is that the deck, if you have the full deck and you can get it, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And also it's a quick 2-turn deck. So it's not going to be a problem. And also once you get that deck, you're never going to have a problem with entropy ever again if you are looking to hit it more often. And also just, in general, it is an ultimate form that is going to be a good card on its own, right? So the ultimate form card in this case doesn't have any dependencies on other cards, and I think that is the definition of a good card for deck building. And so if you have a chance to get it, I don't see a reason why not. And but if you don't have the cards for it, then I wouldn't chase. Like I wouldn't chase after this deck too heavily. So that's my opinion, and hopefully it helps. Not sure if I've missed any important questions there, but what I'll do is we'll be talking about some options here. Like, for me, this event, unless I get lucky in my my 1,000 gem pull, this is probably going to be it for me, hoping for a second copy of the event card there. And so we'll see. We'll take a look in the next event. So next stream, whether it's Thursday or not, is going to be the last giveaway as well. So if you haven't filled out the form, make sure that you fill out. I don't have the link with me available right now, but take a look and put your name in there, and then I will be giving away the last set of my my t-shirts for you guys. All right, so that's it for tonight. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for joining me here, and what we'll do is we'll sync back next video. We'll take a look at the event itself. Like I said, I'm gonna try my hand at guild versus guild fights. So let me know of your teams that you want me to try out, and then we can work through that. Cool. So thanks a lot. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you